liberty, justice for all.
Make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A:.
Yeah. 91A:3, Roman numeral 2B, like my first time.
Second.
Second by Joe. Discussion? John?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Joe?
Yes.
We'll be right back.
And it's on. That's what it is.
Jesus.
I'll make a motion, we exit non-public.
Second by Joe, discussion, John,
Yes.
myself, yes, Joe,
Yes.
yes, unanimous. All right, moving on. Recognition.
Yes, we have some district retirees, 2026 champion for children and our 2000 teacher of the year. We will start with our retirees. Christine Dallas, from stepping in as a substitute in 2011 to becoming a full-time paraeducator in 2015, you've shown an unwavering dedication to students and staff alike. Your calm presence, kindness, flexibility, and student-centered approach have made a lasting impact. Thank you for being a supportive teammate and a steady source of care. Enjoy this next chapter. You've earned it. Thank you.
She's also my neighbor, so I hope she's gonna move. So,
Peter Elsmore, from Title Math in 2004 to Title I, and ultimately in your years in third grade, you've always put students first. Your love of science, quiet dedication, and ability to help every child feel confident and curious have made a lasting impact on Lamprey River and to the students of Raymond. Congratulations. Thank you for everything. And I also want to thank you so much for the Bowling for Books. That has been a huge success within Raymond. And we're going to have to find somebody to continue that because that's quite the tradition. So thank you, Peter. Mary Jo Holmes, a little disappointed in you. You made my life a little more complicated by encouraging my wife to be on the Fremont Budget Committee. That's okay. Congratulations on 28 years of extraordinary service to Raymond, 20 years as a dedicated paraeducator, 5 years as an invaluable administrative assistant, and throughout this time, a steadfast union member and president. Your unwavering advocacy for children, your support for staff, and your care for families have shaped this community in lasting ways. Your mix of compassion, strength, and just the right amount of sarcasm has made Raymond a better for every child, teacher, and resident. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Kara Walker joined the Raymond School District in 1992. Over her many years with the district, Kara made a lasting impact on the lives of countless students. She brought creativity, intelligence, enthusiasm to every role she held, working across different grade levels and teams throughout her career. Her ongoing personality and dedication to education helped create learning environments where students could grow, succeed, and feel supported. Most recently, she served as a sixth grade math teacher, a subject area that she had truly a passion for her. She will be greatly missed by both staff and students alike. Thank you.
Thank you.
These are a couple of awards that I started when I got here. I'm not gonna lie, they came with me from Barrington, but I thought they were a great way to celebrate some individuals within our district. Our first one is our Champions for Children. As a student assistant program counselor at Raymond High School, Natalie Madrano, okay, Madrano has made an extraordinary impact on students, family, and staff in her 2 years here through her unwavering dedication, compassion, and commitment to student success. Natalie possesses a unique ability to connect with students, particularly those who may be struggling or who find it difficult to trust adults. She has a remarkable pulse on the student population and is often among the first to recognize and step in when a student needs additional support, guidance, or connection. Students seek her out, not only for themselves, but for their friends or their loved ones that they are worried about. She is compassionate and has a non-judgmental approach that helps students feel seen, valued, and empowered. Natalie thoughtfully plans and implements prevention, education, intervention services, and student supports that are responsive to the needs of the school community. Whether working individually with students, facilitating groups, supporting families, or responding during times of crisis, she remains calm, compassionate, and effective. She thinks outside the box, always trying to find ways to advance her students, always trying to find ways to advance our support for students so they can thrive. It's because of these exceptional contributions that Natalie was selected as this year's Champion for Children. will say this too. Unfortunately, Natalie too is resigning. Her husband is a basketball coach, an assistant basketball coach at UNH. And it's been his desire to become a head coach. And he just landed a head coaching job at a D3 school in Pennsylvania for who? What is it? Okay, that's the place to school. So it's nothing here, but husband's dream is to be a D or a basketball coach. So that's why. All right, Teacher of the Year. It is great pleasure that I recognize Leanne Wells as this year's Raymond School District Teacher of the Year. When asked to transition to second grade at the end of last year, Leanne embraced the change with remarkable positivity, grace, and a genuine eagerness to grow. This year, her students have flourished under her care. She has supported emerging readers with dedication and intention, and their progress has been truly transformational. For students who excel in math, she thoughtfully provides meaning extension opportunities that keep them challenged and exciting to learn. She is deeply data-centered, collaborating closely with the reading specialists, math interventionists, and administrators to create purposeful small groups and ensure every child receives instruction that meets their needs. Each day, she goes above and beyond to support, enrich, and inspire her students, and the growth they have achieved under her guidance stands among the strongest in our school. Her commitment, heart, and unwavering belief in her students make her an extraordinary educator and a treasured member of our school community. That's it.
Right.
Thank you all very much for your dedication and your work and all you've done for Raymond.
Well, up next, public comment. We have public comment. That open till what's that called today?
Yeah, 6:18 on my own.
Last time I get to say Mr. Harmon. Mr. Harmon doesn't like to be called Mr. Harmon. He likes John.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks again, Tony.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow.
I know. Enjoy, Mary Jo.
Thank you. I know.
All right. Student representative to the school board.
So our school year is coming to a close. We have lots of finals going on at the high school. Our softball and baseball seasons have just ended. Baseball finished their season well, ending on a positive note with a 5-2 win against Guilford. And softball made it to the first round of playoffs and finished their season 10-7. And then also just wanted to say congrats to the senior class of 2026 on their achievement. And yeah.
All right. Questions?
I know she was at the film festival on Tuesday,
That's just
Monday. Earlier this week. Yeah.
It's all blending together.
And you guys did a fantastic job.
thank you.
See you.
Year-end budget options.
I am not gonna lie, I think this is the most exhausting year I've had here. Things have been constantly changing. We are still waiting for information from the state. But the options presented to you here are where we currently stand. I'm still trying, I actually followed through with Kyle today, so I have updated information on that for you. So as of right now, you know that we've been hard on a budget freeze all year because we were just over budget with a couple of things. The options that we have right now is that Kyle is indicating that the actual cost from his bid that was approved may come in approximately $100,000 lower. I've been emailing him all week for a final invoice. He says that we are paid up to date and that we were not going to be receiving any more bills. I followed that through with, I need to know from you. I have a PO for $98,000. This was today. I have a PO for $98,000 today. I'm hesitant to close it unless you tell me that you are not going to be billing us for any more services. He's not going to be billing us for any more services. So right now we have an extra $98,000 that I will unencumber. Also, earlier this week, the Student Services Department was able to decrease a contracted services purchase order by $200,000. I don't remember the contractor at this point in time in my head. But in an email I sent out earlier today is, I get very frustrated because you guys know I come here every month and I present my financials to you, and those are the best numbers that I can go by. But if we don't get the correct number from our contractors that are encumbered, then that puts me kind of at like a disposition. So that's kind of how I felt right now at this point in time. The other thing is, I know Terry wants to talk more about it tonight, is the HB House Bill 1610 has been from Gordon. We've been in constant contact with him right now. Has been passed by both houses of legislature. The governor is set to sign a bill that will affect the district's unassigned
I
fund
wanna-
balance retention.
I don't think anyone should be set because she hasn't implied which way she's going to go.
Correct.
It's on her desk, so it doesn't mean she's set. She could pocket
Right.
veto it, but the bill's on her desk, so I think that's,
Yep.
yeah, it's not set to sign, but it's on her desk,
And we don't know which way it's going to go.
which complicates things even more because we kind
We-
of knew which way she was leaning. We'd be like, oh,
Will that?
20 days
will
to
that
the end of the year.
This year?
Yep.
Really?
yep. So by June 30th.
we'd have to.
Yep.
Return it. Is she gonna wait till June 29th to sign this?
Again, no one knows.
What was the question?
He said, is she going to wait till June 29th to sign it? I'm like, no one knows.
But she has a number of days. Once it hits her desk,
Yes, then she could
A
not
number of
be.
days.
Yep, yeah.
and then if she doesn't touch it, then it's pocket vetoed and it's done. But other than that, she has time to
Yeah. So
warm up her pen.
Yeah.
takes care of some of my superintendent report. Thank you.
So with that being said, the options if the school board wanted to are to utilize the facilities capital reserve fund to cover the cost of the architecture services. The public hearing and vote in September approved to take up to 280 from this capital reserve fund. Per my number one above, it sounds like this might be a significantly less, which it is, that I found out today. The school board is holding a public hearing on June 17th to accept and expend unanticipated revenue. This includes $400,000 from an energy grant, which could be used to offset the deficit from the expenditures, along with the unanticipated special ed aid. And then the other option is to use the unassigned fund balance retained of $447,000. So that's where we are with our options. I don't know if you want to make a decision tonight, if you want to hold off to see what the governor's does anything within the next week. But it's really tying our hands at this point because there's only 20 days to the end of the year.
We get all kinds of time.
Sean.
I'm just looking right at her. I look back at the end of April.
Yep.
We've got ballpark 338 negative balance.
Yep.
And 98 off of that, ballpark 300,000 less is a guesstimate at this point, correct?
I would take
We've got change.
I would take 300 off of that because the special ed.
Right, I thought I indicated 200. No, okay, sorry. It was in my head.
Okay.
I was talking see in there.
100,000.
It's kind of cloudy.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we've got about 39,000 and it's all ballpark because we've got 2 months to go from there.
Correct.
In my mind, I think you folks are right in that we should wait until the 17th. So that we have, I believe the governor's signature has to be, it's like 5 days or something.
It is 5 days, but it says it closed the legislation, so.
Of course, it depends on when it hits the desk and we don't know when it hit her desk.
I don't know.
But anyways, those types of pieces of information are important, plus any more information on any outstanding POs. So, and because the options don't change, I don't think. Regardless of whether the governor signs this, we have the option of using it or not.
By the 17th, though, you have to have the hearing because it's got to be 10 days, correct? Because you have to have a hearing to expend that money.
So we would have had to have had the public hearing done like this past Monday. though.
Yeah, so.
So that's why my other public hearing was
Whoa,
done.
say again? We can't
So-
use the,
You could, but you would probably have to schedule another meeting before the end of the year.
use the 2.5% of
Yes.
150th
Yeah.
number,
It would probably be a quick meeting. So,
30 minutes.
yeah,
Jinx that one already.
30 minutes, public input. Yep. I'm sorry. I wish I had more information.
It is what it is.
Doing the best I can with what I got.
Now,
What, I'm sorry, John.
you had something?
No, he was looking at me because I was getting ready to talk.
You wanted to say something?
Okay. I don't know if you've already asked the questions. Can we do if-then motions? You know what I'm asking?
Yeah. No, I'm not asking what exactly, I know we, and if, when, on what?
For example, we use X funds if they are available. If they're not available, then we have a second option. Or do we have to just plain out say what we're gonna do?
I think you gotta plain out say what you're gonna do, John, because I think it gets muddy. Yep. I would, I think that you need to decide if you want to have a hearing on Monday or not tonight.
To me, I think we should have our options open. Right? In my mind. And if we don't use them, I don't know what everybody else feels, but that's where I'm at. What do we?
There's a recommendation of,
I think we're gonna be fine on the budget, to be honest with you. So I think we should use what the revenue, unanticipated revenue and the savings that we have to cover the debt.
The other side of this is the other, if the estimates that we have would go in the wrong direction.
Well, that's a good point, John. I don't think they will, but you never know.
And that's, because we know these numbers will change once the audit is done. They always do. Right?
What's the unanticipated revenue right now? I should say what's our overage is our revenue.
I don't know what it is right now. I have to go back to the,
Wasn't it 700,000?
April financials.
$700,000.
Yeah.
And
and then I had taken off like the 300 of the deficit, so it was like 400, and now
Again,
it's
we're
looking better
in the
than that.
black.
Yep. So it was about 700.
Now we're 700, so 400, 600, we're 600 in the, I mean, I'm ballparking in the black right now.
And part of that revenue is the ballpark 400 from a grant for.
The energy savings.
energy.
Yep.
And I personally think we should have a discussion about using some of that or all of it for the lease payment.
Yep.
Because we budgeted it that way.
Yeah,
We said we were gonna use it for that purpose.
I feel
So it's
too
not
that,
like we're telling people another thing.
I think that, and this is my mind, I think there's like a ranking, in my mind, how we would use this. We use our budget to cover the cost. In my mind, if that gets, first thing they could jam us up, then we'd have to, in my mind, we voted on using the,
CRF.
CRF funds. And I think third would be using the contingency if we got in real trouble. That's just my opinion.
We have the ability to.
You can do whatever you want. I was just,
Just the above.
yep, I was just kind of ranking them in my mind.
We're gonna make that decision one.
Next Wednesday. But no, you need to figure out if you want to have a hearing on Monday. If you want to try them, in my mind, John's mind's different than mine, but his options are a little different, but the
Like-
last one would be the contingency. If you want to use that. you
Have
could
a
have a hearing.
public hearing.
No, I believe we should have it. So
Yeah.
that it gives the board the ability to have that option.
Yep.
On Wednesday night.
The $400,000 for the EEI. We would just keep that. We wouldn't expend that because we've already put in that budget the first time around, correct?
We've already, so that money was to offset the EEI last payment that we paid them. Yeah.
So we wouldn't.
Which is already in the expenses.
No, you can't keep it.
Well, that's, it would go back to the taxpayers. wouldn't
Yeah, or.
It would go to
offset the cost.
offset the expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you paid the lease, and now to offset the lease is the 400,000, you made a little money.
Well, we had the lease and then we had the final payment to EEI. So there's two different things. So we had the $260,000 lease. That lease did not cover the total project of the EEI project. So we had to pay them approximately another $400,000. That grant was to offset that payment.
But that was already in our budget because we anticipated that that's what we're gonna have to do, correct?
No,
It wasn't in
We
revenue.
didn't anticipate any.
We did, I
grant.
didn't, I did not anticipate
What
the
was it?
revenue. I didn't anticipate the expense.
So opposite way, so you did not anticipate the expense.
Right. So that's why they wash. The public hearing discussion, I just want to go back to that because there's like a timeliness that has to happen with that. So for your public hearing next Wednesday, we had to submit it to the union leader this past Monday. So it's not like if you guys wanted to have one next week, we can go and do that now because there's got to be so many, union leader has so much time that they have to get it posted. And then by the time it's posted, we have to give so many days.
I got a message. I don't think we have to go with the union leader.
Have to go there or can it just be
I
a
don't-
couple plate, like, I know typically we do.
Yeah,
Is
that's,
that mandatory? Like,
Oh, she just said 7 days ahead of the meeting. Yep. If you want a public hearing, don't we need to advertise that in the newspaper 7 days of the meeting? So the earliest,
same page.
so the earliest we could do is Wednesday. No, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Is that, I'd say not even, no, because it's not, probably Friday. I'm just trying to,
I'm just saying I'm doing the dates on my paperwork here, so to have it for the 17th, we had to have it to the union leader by the 8th. So that's 9 days
We've met that threshold for the one on Wednesday.
for the one on Wednesday.
But
But if you were going to have one for the retention,
Yep,
it would have to be another like 9 days. So I kind of like backed into it. So if we were gonna have one on June 30th, we would have to have the public hearing to the union leader by June 21st.
So right now, if we took, say, $400,000, use that to offset basically what we paid already for the EI contract, we'd be in the positive for budget then, if everything goes as anticipated, around $362,000.
Well, we've already used, like, in my eyes, we've kind of already used it, that $400,000. So you have extra revenue of 725, and if I ballpark it right now that we're in an operational deficit of $100,000, then there's $600,000 left. Because they're both already accounted for on the financials. We've already done the revenue. We've already expensed it. So the expense is already on there on the expenses.
Do we have to have the public hearing to
yes,
put that towards our general fund?
that contingency, yes.
No, I'm talking about the $400,000.
Well, yeah, that's scheduled next Wednesday. That's easy.
So that one we already have.
So, right, so the revenue.
It's the contingency one that we're struggling to find a date to get scheduled for hearing.
Just because we don't know if it's going to,
Well, even if it passes or not, if we have to have a hearing, we don't know the date.
But technically, we should, right, at this particular time, we should not have to use that, correct?
John's saying that
I
possibility,
just think
you need an option. You use an option.
if the board doesn't want it, that's fine.
Just wait until next week. like John. In my mind, she didn't sign it today because it says the end of the legislative session was actually the 4th, so she should have signed it yesterday, technically. Unless they count the next day as the first day, but we'll say today.
I have no idea.
But, I mean,
so we got a letter from Gordon today. And as I'm reading it right now, like trying to figure out how to better explain it to you guys. So he's saying any unassigned fund, general funds still retained by the district at midnight on June 30th, 2026 will be considered revenue for fiscal year 27. tax rate setting purposes, and therefore the retained funds will be used to reduce the amount of taxes that need to be raised in fiscal year 27.
Time out. So that. I thought it was. They want to, so you're saying that they would take the entire unassigned fund balance that we already have? That's not the way I read the legislation.
That's what they're gonna do.
That's what they're going to do.
That
And then,
2.5% is going back to tax.
Contingency fund.
yeah.
That's the, the contingency fund they're going to take.
if she signs it,
If she signs it to
then-
offset the tax rate.
then it's going to a 3%. But if you want to use that 3%, you have to get voter approval every year.
But what I'm saying is, so, she's not taking the 2.5% that's already there.
Yeah.
Yes, she's going to
So then
take
you're
the,
gonna have to ask for 3% every year?
yes.
That's just, that's what the
Yes.
freaking budget committee's been, complaining about, because they don't know how to add it up right every year.
So that's the conundrum.
So another,
Yep. Problem at hand.
I feel like how it's working right now has been working good. The fact that they want to change it, I'm just kind of like, I don't know why you want us to ask for it every year. And then if I ask for it every year and we get it, when do I have to return it by? Because then it has to be returned every year.
June 30th.
It just doesn't, I don't understand.
June 30th, if you don't use it.
Everything else they're doing, it's just, let's get it through as fast as we can to stick it to public schools, 'cause that's what they're doing.
Because the towns don't have the,
Without taking the time to think it out. And this is the mess, and like every other mess they put us in this whole year with the open enrollment crap that we had to do and all that other nonsense. It's just one more of those things.
I mean, geez, if they did it with the town, we could get what, $9 or $10 million back every, Can you imagine the town asking for $9 million every year?
So the public,
For $9 million a year.
yeah. So I think the public hearing would be if you guys wanted to use it before then. I think a lot of schools are like, hey, you're gonna take it from us. We're gonna get projects done that we want to get done. But again, there's only
I
so
don't
much,
like that.
there's only 20 days left.
In my
So I don't know
mind-
what you're gonna
in
get
my
done.
mind, that's not what it's for.
I
In my mind,
agree.
It's there for when you're getting a pension.
I agree.
It's not there for projects. It's if we were $400,000 in the hole,
Mhm.
it would be used to get us out of the hole. In my mind, that's kind of what we've told the taxpayers.
It
Again,
was originally,
that's right.
but
That,
they changed the
I
legislation
know, but,
in their wisdom.
yep. So,
wow, that's a strong word, John.
Because before you had to go
Have to go
to the budget committee and, if they went through it, DOE would have to, bless it, but now that they changed the legislation a few years ago.
See, I read it as if we wanted to, get to the 2.5%. It's been like $2,000, $500, we'd have to ask for that. I didn't know they were taking it away and give it back. I didn't think, that's not the way I read it at first.
Yep.
Because it took us a while to build it up. And we were only able to build it up fully during COVID. So
I mean, does that mean, if something happens, we're gonna be having a town meeting and saying, oh, sorry, new kids came into town, $400,000, have a good day. They'd be on the next tax bill.
maybe.
In an effort to speed things up, the question is on the floor right now is, do we want to have a special meeting at some point in the future at an unspecified date?
That's to do your, if and when. That's much better said, John.
Exactly. To do the 2.5% discussion. And that's what, that we need to decide. If we don't, that's fine. If we do, then we just gotta come up with a date.
I mean. We wait until the 17th, do we go out? That would be too late then, right? So-
I don't think it would be.
Yeah,
You'd have to schedule a last minute meeting. If that's what you guys wanted to do, we could get the public hearing notice to and Jennifer will correct me, I hope if I'm wrong. But if you guys make the decision on the 17th, we would need approximately 9 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that would put you down to the 26th.
Oh. We have some time.
You have some time. I'm going to let you know offhand, 26th. I'm not here. I'm on vacation, so that will be all to you guys.
You'd have it the 29th, the first day you're back.
No, I'm not coming back till the third. So,
Doesn't need to be here for the hearing.
Yeah.
Just joke with it.
Yeah.
I say we wait. I mean, it could already be vetoed for all I know.
So what is Joe saying? I don't understand.
wait,
I'd say
So-
wait till the 17th and we'll know more about the,
Okay,
instead of making a meeting for maybe nothing.
that's fine.
All right, I'm fine with that.
thank you.
Better than that.
Is there anything else that we should be contemplating before we move on so that we are all ready on the 17th?
I don't think so. I'm getting everything else ready for the board packet right now, so I think we should be good for Wednesday. I'm gonna tighten up those financials as best I can.
Good. Curriculum report to the board.
That was too easy.
Good evening. Here's the breakdown on some of the goings on with curriculum as well as the plan for next year. So we're going to talk about reveal, how that went 6-12, and then talk about our plan moving forward, given our curriculum learning resources plan. So for reveal, we had some positives. We had some things we can work on. When it was rolled out in the fall, it was done kind of right at the start of the year. Again, it's difficult for staff to fully, especially when you have a staff that is experienced to integrate some new curriculum in like that, somewhat difficult. So depending on the building, depending on the staff member, integration was different, depending on who it was, but there was experimentation and implementation that occurred in both buildings. We are bringing in a math consultant to Title II funds next year, specifically at RHS, where there's less math experience, to sort of one, help with math instructional support. And that particular consultant is very well versed in Reveal. We already contract with her at LRES. It's main math. Michelle Toby. Amy can attest how good she is. And we're gonna kind of work in some more support for math moving forward, so we're not just sort of dropping it and moving. And again, we're gonna have clever integration next year, which we did not have this year. So some areas of improvement, we purchased Alex, which I think we were told was a diagnostic, which it kind of is. It's more of a personalized learning platform. So this year, as we sort of found out more about it, work with it a little bit more. The better way to use it, I think next year we'll have a clearer picture of how we're going to use it specifically at RHS. Again, hopefully having more integration of this curriculum with me math will support that. And ease of student access. The biggest complaint, because of when we purchased and how we purchased the curriculum, we did not have it fully integrated into our system. So students were not signed up automatically. They had to sign up individually. Created hiccups. Alice, I had some experience with it. Again, that was just because we didn't get on McGraw-Hill's list quick enough. We are on their list now. It should be all set. Forward. So looking at the curriculum and learning resources plan for next year. So again, given the cycle that was approved at the beginning of this year, again, all the curriculum's on a 7-year cycle. Social studies is up next year. And then science will be the following year. So all the processes I sort of speak on terms of what I did with the social studies staff to determine this social studies curriculum will be what I do next year with the science staff and leadership. Again, for this social studies process, the focus was on 6 to 12 admittedly, because the standards are a bit stricter. And that's where you start to see very specific classes for social studies. Again, in 6th grade, you have that social studies teacher, as opposed to it being sort of split in that one teacher elementary setting. And again, our focus in elementary settings is reading and math, with again, having social studies and science in there as well. Did meet with all the social studies staff, 6 to 12, our meetings, September, individually, as well as K to 12 on the PD day up through 10. And I used all that sort of information I got from them for a general needs assessment. And then we got samples of specific curriculum, and they were reviewed by that 6 to 12 staff. For that needs assessment overview, again, both middle school and high school noted, hey, current curriculum we have little dated, varying degrees depending on what we're looking at. Both noted that digital access is useful. However, sort of physical text has its uses as well. A classroom set of said physical text is useful. It allows for a certain level of flexibility without necessarily loading costs. Again, purchasing 100 books is really not ideal. Don't want to be sending, again, in today's day and age, sending a 20-pound book home to students, not exactly something that happens. Lockers aren't used that often. So classroom set would certainly have more use. When looking at priorities, the middle school staff noted that the priorities would probably be 6th grade, which teaches world history, which is more ancient world history, then 7th grade geography, then US history in 8th grade. RHS noted it would probably go economics, world history, American government, US history, geography. Again, looking at K to 5, K to 5 has needs. They're more complex than the 6 to 12. So for instance, 4th grade has a New Hampshire state history curriculum. Finding a New Hampshire state history text curriculum that is, let's call it high quality instructional materials, has been reviewed by national boards. You don't find very often. The current text we use is old, but it is New Hampshire history. And there are resources provided by the New Hampshire, Amy, who's on the loose? Who makes who's on the loose?
Oh, New Hampshire Historical Society.
New Hampshire Historical Society. So there are online resources that can be used to supplement that, that are New Hampshire history. For 5th grade, it's also not a clean curriculum, at least from its sort of like national perspective. We have our own sort of curriculum and the state has its own standards where it's a sort of, I think the official line is it's US history, but it's this blending of civics and geography and history all into one. So again, finding that one size fits all commercial product that does that is not simple. It's not exactly, I don't say it's cheap, but again, it doesn't necessarily. Again, New Hampshire Historical Society does provide some things for that. The elementary school again has social studies integrated into it, into magnetic. And so, and again, there's some building level funded materials. And so there wasn't necessarily a need to go and purchase things. Again, the 4th and 5th, I'm hoping to find, again, through my travels next year, if I could find something that fits the budget that we could sort of supplement, great. But it might be something where we're really looking at those online resources that are available, supplementing that way. Curriculum selection. So after sort of narrowed it down to McGraw-Hill versus Cengage National Geographic, we selected the National Geographic Learning Cengage curriculum. Again, widely supported. Again, the comparison was night and day. I don't think any staff preferred McGraw-Hill. So the initial ideal purchase, such I'm not going to go through it. Things to note, the 100 sort of 7-year digital access seats. So flexibility, again, we do have some grade levels that bloat up, you get like 95 students. Some go low in the 70s. Again, enrollment shifts. So given my experience with McGraw Hill and how they dealt with it, buying buying the 100 seats just covers the base. We wouldn't have to deal with it. Purchasing seats every year, which is something that McGraw Hill, if we go over, McGraw Hill will charge us for those reveal seats. Again, it is what it is. Again, noting the 7-year access, once we purchase this, 7 years, we're good. We don't have to revisit social studies, which is nice. Again, 30 classroom techs. Ideally, we've got our class sizes, depending on the class, say it hovers around 20. That gives us wiggle room of those 10 techs if something were to happen for the next 7 years. So again, we don't have to go purchase books in the set. Now, iReady, specifically that personalized learning and diagnostic, was up this year. It was on a multi-year contract. I forget what the total cost of our 5-year contract was, but it would have,
120,
it would have eaten up the entire,
around 120.
Yeah.
For 5 years.
right. So it would have eaten up the entire curriculum budget. And again, we would be revisiting that every years or so, which again would throw off our instructional resource renewal. So talked to iReady. We got a quote for a yearly renewal instead, so that it does not eat the entire budget. It's part of it. So we had to reduce the 125 total budget down to, or rather we took that 125, we took out the 33 grand for that 1-year renewal, left with 91,000. And then I got a revised quote from Cengage. This is our revised Social Studies purchase. I only had to cut out, what I did was I cut out 10 seats of the digital access. Again, 90 seems like the perfect number. There's a lot of classes that are in the high 80s. And there's only a few that go over. There's 1 or 2 that are like 92, 91. And my hope is that Cengage will be more open to being flexible with numbers than McGraw Hill was. And it shouldn't be a problem. Again, 30 classroom texts to sort of cover numbers. Again, I adjusted some classroom text like that economics text to just offset just a little bit to make it work. I did have to cut the high school the high school US history completely to free up 15 grand as a sort of mea culpa to the social studies department at the high school. I added AP government text, which they need, which probably would have come out of their school budget. So out of their social studies departmental budget, to sort of supplement. It's like, hey, you're not going to get US history. I can get the AP government text. Again, we still have about $2,000 of wiggle room there with this current model.
John, you mentioned we were gonna put iReady in the budget every year. When we were doing budget season,
Oh.
we had talked. Yeah, it never happened. Well, because we did it too late this year, we knew, so next year we're gonna start putting it in the budget. But it's 33,000 per year.
It will go up.
What is it right now,
I can't
Josh?
give you the exact percentage. It's 33 now.
No, I'm just saying it's 33 this year, just for simple math. So that's 5 years, 165 versus 120. Which one would I prefer?
Well, yes.
I just don't know why we just don't do that.
We would push our instructional, every 4 or 5 years, we're gonna push the instructional resources back 1 year.
Or maybe,
This year, we would have to.
Yeah.
moving forward, we would.
Year after, we would set up every 5 years, we would budget appropriate. That's my mind.
I think one of the biggest problems this town has had, we kind of talked about on the CIP with the fire trucks and stuff. Instead of asking for a new fire truck every 20 years at $2 million, is it better to lease it? You might, pay a hair bit more, but it's always in the budget. It's gonna be in a default budget, it's in a regular budget. I hate going back to the years where we're looking at 25-year-old, Ronald Reagan still our president and US history books.
Soviet Union.
So
I am hoping there are some companies that will set up quotes where they give you the 5-year price, pay it annual. I don't know if iReady is that type of company. but I'm hoping to cultivate a relationship where they might become that type of company. But some companies will, and again, if we can get that 5-year deal on a 1-year cycle of payment.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't know what you were talking about,
Sorry,
John.
I apologize. Yeah, so again, there's some that will, okay, we'll make you that 5-year quote and we'll set it up so that you only have to pay a year. Which is very, again, I think it's with an understanding of how schools actually work. But not every company that sells things to schools actually appreciates how schools actually work. So again, I think it's something next year, now that we kind of know that that's the plan, if we can supplement that with, this is what we want. Good results. So again, the pros of the revised purchase, again, we're just US history. It's the only thing. Again, having personal experience with US history textbooks. They're not the oldest textbooks we got. They're not the oldest curriculum we have. They can survive for 1 more year, and hopefully we can find something moving forward to supplement it. Next year, maybe in science again. Even with the ideal budget, I still had $9,000 of wiggle room with social studies. So hopefully I can have that same much wiggle room next year. Yes, sorry.
How many students took AP?
So I think our AP US history, or how many are taking AP Gov?
Which one we decided
Well,
to get?
combined.
Yeah, so we're running,
Government.
AP Government is the class that's starting this fall, because they're on a 2-year cycle. So this year was a push. This year will be AP Gov. We're buying AP Government books,
How many?
15, because we currently have 13 enrolled.
And you had
Okay.
15 last year.
I think I had more last year.
Did you? Because I know there were 15 kids that took the AP exam.
Then yes, so 15 is a good middle number. We generally don't go higher than that. We could, again, that's something where I would look to the social studies department and be like, okay, well, we bought you the 15. You've got a social studies book budget. Maybe you buy the 1 or 2 extra. And again, the nice thing is again, having personal experience with it, I bought digital text, which is on a yearly subscription. This will be physical, so this should last for a couple cycles. And we have pretty much brand new AP US history books, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
You being in unique perspective because you taught the class last year. Memory serves me, of the 15 kids that took AP, 10 of them got a 5,
Yes.
which is outstanding. Is it, and I'm not looking for modesty, is it a result of the teacher, the book,
So.
or a combination of the above? I think I know my answer, but
Yeah, I think it's a combination of even more factors than that. I am purchasing the physical text that I used on. So the text will be the same, it's just the physical. So it's the electronic. I do believe that College Board assessed the AP Government exam that year easier than usual. Maybe that's being modest, but again, if you look at the numbers, that being said, we still crushed the state average. So
Yes.
like, we did just fine.
yes,
So, but yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things. We are going to try and support all of our AP teachers by paying for them to go to AP Summer Institutes and Title II funds as well. So the hope is everybody will be prepared, everybody will be ready. Obviously, I'm working in supporting role for people who are teaching AP.
so you attribute some of the success to the text you were using that the students didn't physically have, but you had
They had access to it electronically.
electronically?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So now they'll have it physically as
Yeah.
opposed to electronic.
Thank you.
So I guess now I should have asked this when we met, Josh, so I apologize. Why are we going with the book then instead of the digital text for AP Government? Because I tell you, the book is probably more expensive, isn't it?
It's the same, actually, it's the exact same price.
Really?
Or if it's, I could get back to you on it, but it's surprisingly how close it is. So the reality is, because we do it every other year, the way that particular publisher has it lined up, if you buy a 1-year subscription, it's basically the same as buying a book. And we would buy 1-year subscriptions because we only ran it every other year. You could only buy a 1-year, 3-year, or 5-year. Well, that doesn't help us. So
All right.
basically spending money that we're not. And again, the nice thing is, these texts should last. Again, the person who wrote them actually attended her AP Summer Institute. She's fantastic. She's somebody who's on the committee that writes the tests. I'm not gonna say it has the answers in it because it's not true, but like certainly has certain insights as to like what's going on. and what-
Hopefully she's not excluding something.
Exactly, right? She's covering it all and it's very thorough. It's a good text. So it is what it is.
I did find out later in my life that most of the answers are in the book if you read the book.
She's got to read it.
More questions, Tony?
Yes.
My concern is trying to buy 90 when we know we're gonna have classes above 90. Now granted, there's a 92 in, at the year-end numbers for 9th grade. That's not really accurate. It's gonna be less than that. But 4th grade has 92 and 6th grade has 89. And those numbers always, as we know, fluctuate, sometimes dramatically, and other years not so much. I guess my point is, wouldn't it make sense to go with 93 or 94 because we know we have an issue?
You could. So I was trying to, one, keep the numbers rounded for the sake of keeping it clean. And I mean, again, it sounds silly, but adding, let's say 2 to 3 on each of those.
Yep.
One doesn't matter. But once you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Something has to give. I
Exactly,
understand.
it starts to get bigger and bigger.
But what are we gonna do when we have that time when we're short?
So, and again, my hope would be, and to be fair, I mean, it's one of those sort of, I don't want to call it a sticky area. We're talking with the vendor. They're like, look, we've got 90 purchased in every other grade. We just need 1 or 2. Take the 2 back. I don't care. We're not going to use it. But so this year I had a really great conversation. Okay. With Reveal, coming into this year, our numbers were off. Getting them to make the numbers right, we had to pay. Going into next year, Reveal said, your numbers are fine, we'll make the adjustment, no cost. We won't even take, we actually ended up with a, not a budget, with a credit with them. They were like, we won't even charge your credit. Thank you, this is fantastic. So the reality is it shouldn't be, we're looking at a couple $100 to fix the problem maybe every year. Again, do we want to pay? And I don't say 10,000 extra.
Yeah, I know it's
dollars,
gonna be a big number.
right, a bigger number now and avoid that. And that's why I had 100 seats in the ideal budget. Cause I was like, we don't even have to worry. It's never going to be an issue. Or do we just make it a small issue later moving forward? Again, budget wise, we should have this sorted by, if there was a change, August, September. So again, I know there's a little more flexibility with funds in August and September than let's say May or June.
I see where John's coming from, but I don't think I've seen the numbers. I don't think I've seen it in the last 12 years jump up from 8th grade to 9th grade. And then I think this graduating class started at 109 from 8th grade. They were a little over 100 when they got in the 9th grade, and I think we settled around 88 by the time 12th grade rolled around. So some of those kids, again, go to other schools, stuff like that. So, and with the stuff going on statewide, you can just sit there and say, I'm going to homeschool my kid tomorrow, and hopefully they get in school.
Yeah.
So.
And there's, yep. So it's, we're trading one thing for the other, for sure. And so I do think that we can handle it on like that one or two we can handle on a yearly basis. I think this gives us, I wouldn't go lower than 90, let's put it that way. I think 90 is the sweet spot. While still maintaining the budget that I've got this year. Anything else on this slide? I got a slide for questions if you have to, so you can hit me later too. I'll be here. Oh, hey, there it is. Look at that.
So you feel comfortable with the secondary budget you came up with the 90 bucks?
Yeah, honestly, if I had 125K to work with, I probably would have adjusted it to right. I would have tweaked like maybe a couple numbers to be a little higher, like 30 for world geography at the high school and 30 economics texts. And then I would have tried to use the rest of the budget for K-5 support. So yeah, no, I think this is acceptable for what we got. Again, I still have that 2,600 wiggle room for foreseen curriculum circumstances, which will 100% show.
Anything else?
Thank you. You can move on though.
All right.
I'll make a. Oh, you got some?
You do what you're gonna do and then
I'll make a motion to, accept the. You want to just say social studies curriculum? Okay, social studies curriculum. For an approximate amount of 86, I should make this bigger, yeah. $86,685.
$88,968.
Plus the 80 bucks. Yeah, so the 88.
What is it, 88?
$88,968.44. Or you could say not to exceed 89. Oh, that's right.
That's it.
Professional, Mr. Harmon.
I'll make a motion to, not to exceed $89,000 for the, geography.
Social studies.
Social studies curriculum. I'll get it.
You made like one teacher really happy for a second.
You get to choose the teacher
There
today.
you go.
Dealer's choice. Second for discussion.
All right, second by John, discussion.
I guess I'm just held up by we're gonna have to spend up $45,000 more for iReady. We really should have to, because we're making that decision. Is it that we're so far back on social studies that we need it this year?
Yeah, I think that since I've been here,
So it's a $45,000 issue.
well,
I'm asking.
yeah, I specifically remember when we were talking about the budget, we knew that we couldn't do 120,000 for iReady and 120,000 for social studies. And I remember having the discussion, well, maybe Terry, we just have to put iReady in the budget every year. And I question, to be honest with you, if it's actually 120,000 for 5 years. I think that's probably a little low. We don't have the quote. Do you have a quote for 5 years? But I think it might have been slightly higher. But I remember specifically, we know we want iReady every year. We would put it in the budget and then we were moving forward. So that's why we did what we did. Because I remember having that discussion during the budget season, because I know Josh and I talked about it, because I know Josh was moving forward with iReady, and I said, wait a second, pivot. The board's made the suggestion, now we just do 1 year and move forward with social studies, because it's been so long for social studies. I know that Tony's mentioned the fact that when we looked at some of the books, of course, Russia's back now, but when they looked at the books, Russia was
The Soviet Union.
yeah. And so some of them are very, very old. But again, John, you know what? If we hunt for a year too, not the end of the world. Come this far.
Yes.
How much for 5 years?
I determine how long. 147,192, but hold on, I
Hold on.
want to make sure.
What'd you say?
No.
Okay, we're done.
So wait, no, that includes the they like quoted us the high school.
Oh.
So reduce that
Back the bus up.
reduce that by 15,000, so 132,000
I know where it's going, so.
for 4 years. So
Thank you.
132,000.
We're good.
4 years.
All right,
They have us.
Well, and that's just not the diagnostic, that's the diagnostic, the curriculum, the math, the pathways, the whole nut. You're right. Yeah, they do.
It is what it is.
Yep.
All right, all those in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Stay put.
Next,
Pete? Amy?
study practices.
Yep, when we came out with the strategic plan several years ago, it was part of the strategic plan to develop work studies practices that basically correlate, coordinate, bring in the portrait of a graduate. So we've done that. How we got here, the schools took time to take a portrait of a graduate and work study practices. We crosswalked and merged them. K to 8 need to be somewhat different than the high school due to languages and differing expectations between the grade spans. Teachers were extremely involved in the process. I'd say the teachers basically the ones that did 99% of this work in all three buildings during PD days and PLC times. So the work study practices are, I would say, they are identical K to 8. However, the high school has a little bit stronger, more precise verbiage for the high school as the students are definitely older and I hate more expectations. How would you like us to do this? You want us to read each one? Do you have questions? Well, I know. I'm sorry, John. I know sometimes it goes. We can make a motion. We can move on.
well, I would like to hear from each administrator how we got to where we got.
Okay.
I don't need to be read, that's for sure.
Thank you.
If anybody else wants to,
I'm good.
I'll get cookies and milk.
Hey,
So yeah, the high school one, we started, it was kind of started as a little muddled process and to adapt our current work study practices by just kind of feeding the portrait of a graduate requirements in, realized that it wasn't just jiving. So we kind of scrapped that idea, brought it back to the department heads and brought it back to each individual department. They each had a strand or indicator to work on across the line. And then from there, we realized, hey, we're going to take the actual portrait of the graduate, use that as our work study practices, essentially, and turn that into the rubric that we've kind of created here. And this was done at the teaching level in individual departments. And then we brought it back to full staff meeting and then spent, I think on our March 10th PD day, we spent about 2 hours going through it and working together to make sure we had something that all the teachers could kind of get behind, that made sense, that we thought was fluid, that it actually tied in the portrait of a graduate, and essentially was the work study practices, air quote there, on what it is that we'd be looking for. We sat on it for a little bit, put the whole document together, then reshared it back out to the entire staff again, and said, any last thoughts, questions, couple more, fed back in. We discussed them and ended up with this as our working document. And so we ended up there.
And I think our process was very, very similar. I think it was a little muddled at first. We started, instead of academic teams, obviously it's grade level teams or the UA team, and we gave them all the work study practices that were current, and then we gave them the portrait of the graduate, and we said, try to do a crosswalk, like see where the similarities are, and how would we make this portrait of the graduate friendly for K3 in K3 language. And so they started working on that as teams. And so they all submitted their ideas to me, and I started working on it and then trying to bring all of their ideas together into one document. So I did the synthesis, and Tom did the same, more or less. I won't speak for him, but he did something similar. And then when Tom and I looked at it, there were a lot of similarities. And then we're like, why are we going to have one document that's K3, a separate document for 8, and then a separate document for 9-12, when what Tom and I were doing was so similar. And that's when we agreed to just kind of work together. And what we were able to do is find language that was very universal, K8. And we feel very good about it. So then Tom and I did that work at our level, then bringing it back to the teachers, and the teachers all felt very strongly about it because we used wording that can resonate with the students as well as the teachers. and it's descriptive language that kids can understand. So that's where we're at.
John.
All right. John. As we don't have a middle school representative here.
Yep.
I'm concerned about the rubric that we have for seventh and eighth grade. Not rubric, yeah, I guess I'll call it. rubric. Is it a rubric or is it?
Yeah, it can be a rubric.
It's a rubric.
Because it seems a little beneath them. To me, I would prefer to have the high school level at the seventh and eighth. My thinking is that, again, I think it's beneath them. We've got to raise the bar in expectations. And the other thing is we hear that eighth grade coming in isn't always ready for what's going on here at the high school. And one way to get them ready is to start having expectations the same at the high school level. And I'd like to hear your thoughts, Terry.
Yes, John, I somewhat agree with you, but I feel also that the teachers put a great deal of time and energy in it too. Maybe if we took it back to them and got their thoughts on it, see what they thought about it. If we asked them to create it, ask them to do it, you know, I hate to be top down right off the bat. We can go to them and say, hey, what do you guys think about this? Let's get some feedback from them.
And again, unfortunately, we don't have time here, so
Yeah.
we don't know what discussions happened.
Yeah.
Whether those discussions.
Yeah, I don't know.
I assume. I would like to hear from the middle school their thoughts, and if they're not interested, why aren't they have similar concerns? I'm not saying I'm right, I just think that it just doesn't seem like we're
Add
asking
that to
enough.
the agenda for Wednesday. Because I should have answers by then, because they're gone on Friday.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they're gone on Tuesday, but you know what I mean. Yep, I'll have something back for you for Wednesday. Thank you.
Joe, anything?
I see where John's coming from. I mean, like K to 8, we'll just take the first 1, 3. Self-motivated, you know, it says I usually keep trying when work is hard, and, you know, the high school, it's I am motivated with a strong work ethic. I'm just trying to think, does an 8th grader know what that particularly means? 7th grader, 8th grader, they should, but do they? I think that's where I can see where you guys are coming from. How are they gonna interpret what they're looking at?
We have a document that's trying to reach a span of what, 11 years?
Well, yeah, and that's,
And to me, we're talking about 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds in pre-K, depending on the breakdown.
Okay, so that's a
The
five.
K is 5 years old, so we're not talking about pre-K, sorry, but 5-year-old. So we're talking 9, 10 years, depending on the kid. And that to me is just too wide a spectrum to try to cover in one brush.
and personally, in an ideal world, if we still had the grades the same way we did before, it would be, you know, K to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12.
At the middle school, we have different grading, correct?
We do.
4th, 5th, and 6th have different grading than 7 and 8, right? Is that?
No fourth.
It's in that
Anyway,
range.
yeah,
So it's not like it's unique to them that they would have to deal with something like that.
Well, I was looking at more the parents too. I know our parents look at this, you know, all the time, but I don't want to confuse them either about, you know, oh, well, how come my kid's not getting this time? Well, because you went from 6th grade to 7th grade, and, you know, this is what it says now. Now, parents should be able, should read up on it and say, this is what it is, but
That would, to me, that would be on us.
that, you're correct.
Because we didn't explain it that, you know, if we've got different work study practices between 6th and 7th, then it's on us to explain that difference and to say, starting in 7th grade, your child will now, these expectations are now this. Because of their maturity, we expect more from them.
Man, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why we're doing this. Is this something that board has to approve, or are we just like to get into everything?
No, I think it's part of the grading, so yeah, you'd have to approve it.
What are we doing?
Coming back to you Wednesday,
That one's getting longer, isn't it?
talk about 7th and 8th grade.
All right. Anything else on that?
Nope.
The grades change over in sixth grade. To
It's 4th and 5th and then 6th, 7th and 8th.
so
Well, I can tell you that a 6th grader would not be able to, some of those, that word choice and some of those work study practices would definitely be tough for a 6th grader.
I think when
Where
we,
did that in say 6th grade?
right, but I mean, if we're keeping it somewhat consistent, right? Sixth grade.
We can make the rules as we go to.
I don't know, that 7th and 8th grade have demonstrated maturity level that suggests that this isn't appropriate for them.
Well, that's why we're gonna talk to them.
If you want to know the truth,
Some of them lately,
most of them. But we'll have that discussion on the 17th, I guess. What's next? Student parent handbooks.
Thank you.
Well, they're not going too far.
Josh, I think you can go, can't you? Can check. Am I checking? Yeah, you're
thank you, Josh. Doug has to come on.
on
He's running.
or walk quickly. All right. So, again, all handbooks, the health service, the revisions have been suggested by our school nurse. Immunization requirements have been updated, communicable diseases guidance transferred to a chart format for easier viewing, slight language revisions to administration or prescription of non-prescribed medications. A link to the New Hampshire Department of Education Type 1 Diabetics Toolkit, slight language revisions regarding returning to school after injury, suggested by the school nurses. RHS and middle school physical exams added co-curricular. And only the middle school, we added it so that it is every year, which is what is the high school. So it's standard procedure. And that's what they need to be for an athlete. So that's kind of like all the handbooks have those same changes. You want to do the high school there, Peter?
I can, sir. Okay, so changes, okay, so page 17, looks like that's our first, real change. In this, we just added under the heading e-bikes, just so they would fall into a category. That was added because we are seeing more and more of those around town and up here occasionally, so we just want a little proactiveness and want to be ahead of things ahead of the, tied to that. So we just added, bicycles and e-bikes, for the handbook there. Page 21, removing the SAP counselor language. Again, just in different positions, so just cleaning up some stuff there. Page 21. Page 23, there's two different spots, where it talks about cell phones. This was added or changed to just make it more in line with what we have been doing this year based on the new state law mandates, and how we kind of slow rolled it, adapted it, and then came out second half of the year with it. So that is that portion of that policy there. Rest of that is policy. So then page 38, we were looking at some changes, and that was just to make things more in line with the Ed 306. Hold on one second, getting myself caught up at page 38. Okay. Yep, so that's just, again, adding the requirements and tying it to the Ed 306 and what will be coming up for the incoming freshman class. Then 38, and then 45 would be the updated work study practice languages, where we combine the portion of the graduate And those were essentially all the changes to the high school handbook.
Questions? Need a motion to approve the high school handbook.
I'll go ahead. I'll make a motion that we approve the 26-27 Raymond High School parent and student handbook as presented.
Joe, discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
I'll do the, middle school since Tom's at, National Junior Honor Society. Page 19 updates policy JICJ. Page 22 mentions all the health service updates that I mentioned earlier. Page 28 adds the addition of behavior coach and BCA descriptions to the behavior health service section. Page 30 is updated language on reading regarding special education complaints, as the manual was previously linked is no longer available. 43 is policy JICK update. Page 43, statement about the state law for no cell phones was added. 43 also is policy JICJ title and policy language update.
Could you pause that before you go?
Yep.
On page 33, sorry. I'm trying to get there myself, so. Could only count. It is actually on, sorry, sorry.
All right.
In here, they have work study practices and it's on page 38. They don't have the updated work study, so if we could just update that in the same Amy of yours. Thank you.
Once it's approved, yep.
Once approved.
Right, but they're not changed in what we're presenting. So if we presented, approved this, this is what would be on the handbook.
And page 53, remove reference to redacted policy EEAR or dash R. And again, we can't do this tonight, other than because we'll have to do the work study practices when we approve those. Right?
Well, we can just get it done now.
Oh, well, I guess with the,
If that's the only changes, then we can approve it,
there we go.
with the amended.
Yeah, with the amended work study practices.
That's the only thing that's changing, right?
That works.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, I'll make a motion. We approve the 26-27 Iron Grove Middle School Parent and Student Handbook with the changes to work study practices that will be changed on June 17th, 2026. I don't know if that's as elaborate as it was, but it is. Second.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have to remake the motion for the other handbook, or can we just kind of?
No, the other one.
No, the other one's good. We're good with those.
Oh, all right, because we're amending the other one.
Yeah, and actually,
I got it.
what Pete did, there doesn't need to be any. It just describes them, right? Did you take the verbiage from your matrix
Yes.
or did you take it from the
No, the-
actual works?
The actual portrait of a graduate.
You took it from the portrait of graduate? So to me, that would just use that language throughout, right?
Yeah.
Three handbooks.
Some enemies out there. The way you looked out the window, I thought someone was coming
No,
for
there
me.
were some kids playing with their remote control cars.
And stuff, just policy, language stuff.
Me?
Page 13, there's a statement about state law for no cell phone added. Page 13, policy JICJ, title and policy language updated. Page 18, the health service section changes as noted from Terry. Page 25, addition of behavior coach and BCBA descriptions to the behavioral health service section. Page 27, updated language regarding special education complaints as the manual as previously linked is no longer available. And lastly, page 37, policy JICK title updated. And that's all the changes to the handbook.
Just one thing for a typo, Amy.
Mhm.
On your welcome letter in the first sentence, it should be 26, 27 school
Right.
year. You've got it at the end, but not for the beginning.
Thank you. I'll send that to Jan.
John,
I'll make a motion to approve the 2027 Lamprey River Elementary School Parent and Student Handbook as presented.
by Joe. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Preschool.
Preschool, man, I messed up. Went away. Okay, preschool. You want me to do that, Peter?
If you'd like to, think we had any changes to it.
No, it's not a lot. Again, health services on page 14. 22, updated language regarding special ed complaints. Page 25, updated contact info. 27, remove some language to area agreements as they're not finalized nor available. And page 31, policy JICK title update.
Ready?
Yep.
I'll make a motion. We accept the 26, 27 preschool excuse me, handbook.
Second.
You would think after making it so many times, you would think I'd figured it out.
Second by Joe. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Athletic co-curricular handbook on page 2, we had changed some language for eligibility, basically saying that if tryouts are happening, because there's, the way the quarters fall, sometimes tryouts before the season with the quarter, but the season's actually mostly in the third quarter, but tryouts are in the second quarter. So we have a kid who's academic eligible not in the second, but could be academic eligible in the third. We're letting them try out, not play, but once they become academic eligible, they've made the team, then they can join the team.
Does it exclude them currently?
Technically, there's no verbiage, so yes, but I overrule them every time and tell them that they can try out. So Jeremy just said, I'm going to cave and give in to you, Terry.
Wise decision on
It
Jim.
was on his side too, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. We're not penalizing it. We're also here to support these kids, but
Yeah, and it gives them some motivation.
he came around to my side. He's actually like, last time he's like, dude, we're good to go. So yeah, oh, I'm teasing. Remove references to policy IOF because it's been redacted. We change impact testing to concussion testing and change sway medical testing to concussion testing. So it's just the different testing we do now for concussions.
So you can test them and you change it back like.
Yeah, it's back and forth. Yeah.
And is it actually called the athletic and co-curricular,
Yes,
even though it is a co-curricular?
co-curriculars do follow this as well.
No, I mean, is athletics is a co-curricular, as you pointed out a few years ago.
Athletics.
Not one.
co-curricular. Yes, realistically, you could just say co-curricular.
That's a great thought.
I like it the way it is. We can. move on. It's already been approved. Sorry. We already approved it.
Athletic handbook.
Oh, yeah. True.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 26-27 athletic and co-curricular handbook. That's how it's called. It's not the parent and student handbook, or is it just handbook?
Nope. I could add parents.
No, I don't want, I suggested something earlier and I got shot
No,
down.
no further changes. Second. Second by Joe. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Is it clear, by the way, that it is for middle school and high school?
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
And we've really worked on Jeremy and Pete and Tom have worked on getting that language consistent.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you all.
Thank you. See you next Wednesday.
All right, nominations.
Next Wednesday?
I think they need to come back.
I'll let you know.
I'm on vacation for Dallas. We're done after.
See ya.
Thank you.
Nominations.
Let's do resignations first. I have Karen Arnault, middle school library media specialist, resignation effective June 30th, 2026.
Make a motion to accept the resignation of Karen Arnold, effective June 30th, 2026.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
I had to get my dramatic pause in there, Joe.
Natalie Medrano, RHS SAP counselor, resignation effective June 30th, 2026. Yeah, that's the one I just mentioned.
Yeah, we just gave her,
We just gave her an apple.
but
No, gave her, we didn't give her an apple. We gave her a
Pennsylvania?
the children.
Was it Pennsylvania?
Yeah, her coaching basketball coach.
I gotta keep up.
Yeah.
That impacted things. Okay, could you give the name again?
Natalie Medrano.
Madrona.
I know.
Thank you.
I was gonna say,
What else? That's-
tell her the name.
Make a motion to accept the resignation of Natalie Mandrano, effective June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nominations. I have three. I have Diane Janvrin, teacher, LRES.
Make a motion that we accept the nomination of Diane Jennifer.
Janvrin?
Janvrin. Janvrin or Janvrin, depending on who's the French. Yep.
Going,
Janvrin.
I apologize if I messed up.
Second.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Delia Costley, teacher, middle school.
Make a motion that we accept the nomination of Dahlia Costley, teacher.
Second.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ron Libby, teacher, LRES.
Make a motion, we accept the nomination of Ron Libby, teacher.
Second.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Next,
NHS call for resolutions. Joseph, you're up.
what we got here?
Jen came up with these. I figured my wording has never worked the last 3 years, so why not just go a different route here? So it's definitely more, lawyerese, I guess you could say, than the previous ones we've tried to write, so I'm hoping that, you know,
Definitely has a legal tone to
it
it.
definitely does have that legal tone to it, so maybe they'll all go, wow, look at this.
Yeah, we have to follow that.
Oh, yeah, so I looked it over, I was perfectly fine with it.
Um, For which one? Are we doing both of?
Let's do one at a time.
One at a time.
Different.
All right, let's take, which one do you want to do first, Joe?
I'll make the resolution, let's see, I'll make a motion to accept the resolution requesting periodic review, School Board Association resolution.
Second.
Second by John, discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the resolutions encouraging annual meetings between elected officials and local government representatives.
Second for discussion purposes.
Second by John for discussion.
Yep, discussion. I indicated when we talked about it originally, I won't support it. I don't think we should be seeking the New Hampshire School Board Association to, for lack of a better way, saying it, telling our elected representatives what to do and when to do it. I don't think it's our business. I think it's good practice on their part, but I don't think it's our business to do that, or the New Hampshire School Board Association's business.
I mean, I like the idea of it, but again, I wouldn't want someone to put something that would obligate me to go and do something.
That's another way to look at it.
Right? What's stopping them from putting in something that makes us go somewhere and do something?
Yep.
I mean, that works both ways. Plus, like I've said before, they have made it obvious that we're not on the same page.
Yeah, but if they never go to the actual meetings, why would they be on the same? And I'm not talking about ours, because ours the last several years have been very good, but before that, we'd have, you know,
Yeah.
Kathy Hosel and
I don't wanna name
Yeah,
names,
yeah.
but it's just assuming it.
But they would show up and then the rest of them, we'd have one or two people here.
I remember one year, none of them came, so.
Yeah. And I agree, Joe, that, you know, it's feast or famine sometimes, our Raymond elected officials, right? But I don't think we should try to legislate them. And it's not legislation because it's really more of a request. But I just don't think that sends the message we want to be sending. And like Tony said, we are constantly getting the school under the microscope of things that they want us to do, but yet nobody else has to do it. And I just don't like it. And I don't want to be trying to do this similar things to like the elected officials. Let the elected officials, if somebody doesn't like the way they're doing things, that's what the ballot box is for.
I do agree with you, but sometimes if you don't know the position, if you're never seen in town, people don't know who you are.
Think about this one. I mean, like I said, I like it in theory, but
Again, they get paid for it because they get mileage to drive here, so
yeah, even if they're in town.
as far as I know, they get mileage to go wherever. You know, you go into a perspective to do their duties, they don't get paid for it. I don't think it has to be going to Concord. I could be wrong about that.
All right, all those in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Yeah.
Nay. Sorry, Charlie. First one, we'll do. Again,
Sorry, Joe.
sorry, Jen.
but, no, I like the language. But it's, they're having to compel another elected official to do something. It's not a road I really want to go down. As an elected official. Next. Memorial plaque request.
We received a request for the installation of a plaque to be installed at Lampley River Elementary School. You have a link to the request. I don't know if you want me to read that or,
Feel the camera. This is,
okay. The name and person of the group to be honored with his or her affiliation, contribution to Raymond School District, Mrs. Donna Pratt, paraprofessional at LRES from 1995 to 2004. The description on the back of the plaque would say, in memory of Donna Pratt, paraprofessional 1995 to 2004. It's my understanding that this was supposed to have been done several years ago. I don't think it was done, so that's why he came forward.
we just deal with like the flag or
Yep.
something, the same thing.
Yep.
Someone took on a responsibility
Yep.
and it kind of got,
From what I hear, I believe that this actually went up, you know, school board way back when, like 2006-ish.
and they,
Speaking to Carrie, they were going to do it, if the money was there, they were supposed to do it. But it just never got put up.
okay.
Goes on I believe, a tree.
Yeah.
So,
Where's this?
so if we have a new school, we gotta make sure that tree.
Yeah, how
that
do
plaque
we
doesn't melt,
navigate our
so.
way around that tree? Like, is that gonna interfere with,
It's out front right now, so I don't think it actually would get touched, but
okay,
Actually, the tree was actually planted too.
yes, the tree was planted.
it's a big tree right in the middle of the thing, right?
Yeah, and there was supposed to be a plaque in front of it.
It's where they have their little ceremony and the,
Yeah, the tree got there, but the plaque never did.
mhm. A lovely tree. What do we need, a motion?
Yep. I'm ready.
Is this funded already, or we gotta do anything besides?
He's gonna pay for it all, we just gotta approve it.
Mr. Pratt is saying he's doing it, right?
Yeah.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Make a motion, we approve Mr. Pratt's memorial plaque request.
Second.
Second by Joe, discussion.
Do we want to put location of it so that it's clear? Or
Yeah, I think next to the, in front of the magnolia tree or,
in front of the tree that is dedicated to Miss Donna Pratt, Mrs. Donna Pratt. LRES, there we go.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Barry, for bringing it to our attention.
you're welcome.
Middle school production approval requests.
Yeah, Branson was here last week or 2 weeks, actually,
Yep.
3 weeks ago,
Mhm.
talking about a request. Unfortunately, he's also too at National Honor Society tonight, Junior National Honor Society, couldn't make it. I said I would talk it through with you guys. He's provided information. He's got a little slideshow. They've already picked out the play. Open to grades 6 through 12. It's going to be held at the middle school, class size for 7 or more. Performance, he's already got the date, performance dates, May 13th, May 14th, May 15th.
Can I ask a silly
Yep.
question? Why not have it down here? And
Well, I will talk to him. We can change all. I
I
think
mean,
he needs to be,
I think
well-
it'd be better suited for an actual stage with a,
yeah,
not anything against the middle school stage, but
yeah,
if this is gonna draw the attention, I think it is after the last one,
yeah.
you might wanna,
So I
Let's see it up.
open. I think the issue is that the trouble getting middle, he wants to include middle school kids.
they don't have to practice here, but they could
Yeah.
just show.
Oh, that's part, that,
Right? Like,
yeah,
if
that's
it's,
why
I'm
he's the board chair. Yeah.
not saying they gotta
Yeah.
come here and
Yeah, yeah.
practice, they can
No, I
do whatever they
agree.
gotta do.
I was more worried about him being able to practice.
Oh,
It's easier
no.
for high school,
I
not
would-
all high school
I
kids, but they typically find it right a lot easier than a middle school kid.
Just say the bus stops right at the middle
I
school
know.
every day, so
I
they can easily get there.
I would just personally like to see it on the big
And
stage,
maybe back and forth. So
if he'd be open to that.
Is the money coming equally from the middle school and high school, or is it coming from one or the other?
Well, we actually have a stipend right now. I think that the individual doing it,
I think this cost, I presume, is for the rights to whatever he's using, right?
Yep.
So that's not this,
no,
the adult.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I don't know that the individual doing the stipend is going to take the whole amount due to years of service. That's how it's based on. So I could come up with some of the money from the stipend, move it over. It comes, you're right, John. It's all different lines to me. Just one big pot and then I tell her, hey, move this money over to one, let's line in that line.
Maybe,
Or we decide we're going to fund the whole 3450, find the money somewhere and pay for the license or half. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
maybe you'd like to get in the dunk tank at the town fair and raise some money for this.
Might do that too.
Good opportunity.
I would.
You guys can say, yeah.
I'll extend the, invitation.
Or we authorize him to raise as much money as he can and then
Did we get the budget we asked it for?
from him?
No.
No, we did not.
So we wanna give
So
them
money's
3,100?
It is again,
And it was cut by what, 500 and what?
$500,000.
That indicates that we're gonna have to squeeze some places.
Again,
Right, but that's my
Yeah.
point is,
Yep.
I think it needs to come from one of the two schools or both. I don't. They've got to come up with it. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe the PTO or somebody can,
yeah,
they're pretty good
If
about
that
that
happens, that
stuff.
happens. But right now, they're looking for a source and my source is, well, they've got to come up with it.
We've got plenty of time to.
That's
figure
my
it out.
mind.
I will get to you because there's some places that will actually negate that $3,400 and you won't have to pay a fee because it's a school. It's not,
Okay.
you're not doing that. We're not making tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars off
It's
this.
hard to find though, John, to be honest with you nowadays.
That's true.
Yeah,
Alright.
but Joe, you have some
Joe,
paper.
John.
Got the J right.
I have yet to hear somebody say, geez, we don't charge you for these production.
What if we just like
They
change a
have
couple
their hand out
names
every
and
time.
Don't stop.
we just enough to get the copyright out of here? Like it's, we'll call it the, the lighting thief,
You actually want to talk?
I do.
the lightning bandit. Oh,
I think it'd be a great idea. Are they gonna be charging at the door?
doesn't say it.
For
It
this?
says,
Tickets will be free, but concessions and donations will be taken to be used towards future shows.
this kid's got already another one plan
Yeah.
behind it.
I was just thinking if they charge like a small admission and they got what they wanted, you probably create a student activity for that. Some money could go into it and then use that money to fund it.
Yep.
Just a thought.
Should we have a chess stipend or something like that we would use? So. I'll make a motion to approve the request for the Ivor Homesville Middle School production of.
Is it high school? And even though it says middle school, it's high school and.
High school and middle.
I just don't want to exclude somebody.
High school, middle school production of
6 through 12.
Piercy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Second,
Second by John
for discussion.
for discussion.
I'd like to have in there where the money's coming from. That's just me, because like, again, we are a very tight budget for next year.
But what if they don't know where the money's
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a
He's got a year to raise it.
Oh, he might come up, he could say, I got $3,000, we don't know.
So we're saying we're not gonna say where the money's coming from?
No, I don't think we need to today.
I'm also not saying we're gonna pay for it. So, I mean,
So.
we don't ask where the
If-
money's
if-
coming from
if-
on a class trip.
But again, if we're saying we're gonna approve something, we don't need to approve it if we're not gonna. Right? That's the way I would look
If
at
he's
that.
putting on a show in one of our buildings, I think we would.
Still have to approve it.
Not that. I think he's looking for approval to fundraise. That, and because he's going across two schools, it's a little more dicier than just going to the principal and saying, hey. So I think he's looking, first thing to do is to raise some money. So he needs to
That
write
would be
the,
you anyhow.
Huh?
That would be you anyhow.
yes. But
We have,
Any-
we have a policy, that pertains to fundraising, right?
I,
From source crowd funding or whatever the hell.
yeah, we have to be careful on some of that, yeah. But I do know that the eighth grades, raise money, classes do for class trips.
I mean, town fair is a good opportunity for
Yep.
me to get out there and
So he'll need to figure that out.
start a bucket.
Yep. And I think, to be honest with you, once he gets to a certain amount, or he can't get to it, he might come back and say, hey, I might need $500 or something like that.
I think Grant's a good recite Othello out there,
Yeah.
town square. He
So
probably
is it-
could do that.
Am I hearing that then we're not allocating any money?
Not right now, no. Just give him the authorization to go out and do his best, do his thing.
I just want to make sure we're clear. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good luck. Break a leg, as they said.
Does he have a crew or is he taking auditions? How's that going?
Of the auditions. You auditioning, Alice?
I don't think so.
I want to be Percy Jackson.
Stagehand? No?
It's not my specialty.
Okay.
All right, committee reports.
We had CIP yesterday. We
Ooh.
visited. We
Fun.
didn't technically have a meeting.
Field trip committee?
Yeah, we went on a field trip basically because we didn't have wasn't a meeting because we didn't have a quorum.
When's the last time that committee's had a quorum?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Where'd you visit?
The safety complex, or hall, whatever you want to call it.
Did you visit the whole complex or?
We visited the police station last year, so we went.
So you just did the
fire
basically
station
upstairs?
Did you have to go one at a time through the police station? Cause there's not enough room for one.
I didn't go to the police station. I already went to the police station last time we went there. It hasn't changed much since.
No.
They got more crowded, so. The fire station, I've been in before, but I was able to go there this year. I mean, I know the town's looking for a new police station.
Mm.
Building I know buildings similar age, that one, I know they have leaks in the roof, especially when they start going down the sides of the walls and stuff like that.
It's
It
like a
will,
35-year-old steel building.
yeah, and it will start corroding the bolts that are actually holding the walls together. Unless you, and I'm just putting this out there since we have a selectman here too, that you might want to sit there and have it inspected. Because I know in certain other buildings, those have been corroded. They've ripped off, because we have there's drywall inside most of them. They take off the drywall and they find that, you could probably shear off the bolts because they are completely, disintegrated with all the water that leaks down those buildings sometimes. You might not notice it inside unless you have a rug there or there's a little ponding of water. But it's definitely something to get checked up on. We did mention that while we were there going, you might want to, before we start, we build a police station and all of a sudden,
Was there like some kind of grifter that went through selling those buildings to every small town in New Hampshire?
Oh, they-
Because literally every small town has the safety complex.
Yeah.
That is a cheap steel building that is made to house tractors. You know what I mean? And they got a police station in there, which we started on that.
we were going towards the outside. I didn't know if they tried to use hay for the insulation, if that was just some birds that were there that were creating a nest. I'm sitting there going,
Could have been both. Could have been
It
both.
could have been either one. So, I mean, it definitely needs some TLC, even if we get a new police station, they get downstairs. How long is that building really going to last? I mean, like, I know I mention this all the time. I mentioned the video. Rainwood is almost exactly like Tewksbury at the time and the amount of people we keep getting in. And, Tewksbury got the police station. And again, they made a huge police station. They're up to 30,000 people now, probably 35,000 people now. But the police station's made the last 100 years plus easy. I mean,
Oh, it's made of that stuff behind
it's
it?
made of that stuff. Yeah, it is a,
And ballistically, they're made now to stop like a 30-06.
oh yeah. I mean, they
They're
just,
pretty good.
they just built a new fire station as well. Now, unlike here, Tewksbury always had a main fire station and some substations. And I did ask the question, when's it going to become to the point where we have 16,000 people here and you want to have a substation closer to exit 5 and exit 4, that way you're not traveling, 5 to 6 minutes is a long time for fire. And especially if you're going all the way down to where my house is, you're talking 10, 12 minutes. And maybe even a little bit longer between getting dressed, getting out the door and going.
Well, because, well, they have coverage 6 days a week. So if you're on a Sunday, you're in even more trouble because then they have to go there first, get
Yeah,
the truck, get everything, and then go.
I mean, and on all hopes that
So if you have an emergency, don't have it on Sunday.
well, the fire, that was one of the things too, Bob. CJ, I think his name was CJ, if I mispronounced that, sorry. But he actually sat there and said, where he works full time, Sunday's his busiest day, which I can see. Most people are home on Sundays, they're doing home projects. They accidentally do something, overload their house or whatever, and they spark a fire by accident. It's usually not when you're at work doing nothing. Usually there's something going on in your house. Those fires start to happen. Or you're out back doing leaves or something like that, and all of a sudden, an amber, lights up, cutting the grass or something, you put your lawnmower, that's what happened right around the corner from me. They put the lawnmower in the shed, and something got caught on fire, so. And again, Sundays is usually when that happens,
Yeah.
a lot of times. So, but looked at the trucks, they did talk about the leasing of trucks.
They have the new one yet? They didn't get the new one yet, did they?
I think they did. Well, we saw one new one. I don't know if that's the new one you're talking about. There was one new one there that was grant funded.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. So we did see that one. They did talk about the lease to buy option, that way you're keeping everything inside and I guess they're looking at that right now. Does that make more sense to sit there and instead of asking taxpayers every 2 years? Cause I know like
Would that be the same kind of lease that we got rips for doing the solar field? That
actually,
kind of lease?
it would probably be even
Is that kind of lease that
Yeah.
we did and we got our asses ripped for it?
but again,
That kind of lease?
yeah, this would almost be a rolling lease where you could sit there and put in your budget every single year.
I know.
You pay $200,000, for, and get a new truck every 10 years. Because like it's gonna take a little while just to get the trucks we have now, but you can't be, by the time one rolls
Yeah,
around,
it
you're
takes
gonna
like
need
a
another
year
one.
to a year and a half to get these
Yeah.
trucks after you buy them.
That's right. And the ladder truck right now is 1999, I think they
It's
said.
the one Walmart gave us.
No, the Walmart, that's been in the junkyard for years now. This is the second one, which we did buy used. But again, with everything going on, buying used vehicles is even harder now because everybody's got to keep their vehicles for 25, 30 years because they can't buy a new vehicle. Where if you're leasing it, yes, it's a set cost every year. It would rotate on your regular budget and your default budget, and you could sit there and just do it, replace all your trucks every 20 years or so. So, and it would be in your budget every single year. You wouldn't have to be hoping that, I mean, we already have one truck broken down. A second one is basically on its last legs because they rev it up as high as they can because they need so many RPMs and so much pressure, gallons per minute to come out. And basically it's, they revved it up as high as they could and it was struggling to keep that up. So. Wow.
It's funny, it's budget time. They come and I say, is there anything that you need? They don't say, oh, our truck's dying. We can barely pump water. Nobody ever says that.
Well, this is the first year they said it really struggled this year. I don't know when it is they certify them and when they're gonna come to you, but.
John,
Joe, have they scheduled any tours for the district or what's going on the district side?
I don't, did they get
July.
back? Is
It was supposed to
July?
be this June and
Yeah, they
it
changed.
didn't happen. So now it's July, whatever day you're meeting in July. Yeah,
Here at the high school?
yeah.
So it would be July, I don't think I've heard about that one yet. July 14th.
That sounds good.
Is that a confirmed date or it's?
Doug said, thank you. So I'm assuming yes.
That's the second Tuesday in July. That's usually when we meet.
July 14th. I gotta put that down.
I'll double check on that one.
I know you're right.
I haven't heard exactly what day it was because again, they canceled one because of what went on, so I'm gonna push everything back.
Any other committee reports? All right, superintendent report.
Again, not a lot happening either, but a wonderful graduation, attended. Grad night, it was probably one of the more school spirited grad nights I've ever been to, because this group, I think they're the first senior class to win Spirit Week since I've been here. Does that sound about right, Alice? Usually it's a freshman or sophomore.
History of
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah, usually it's freshmen or sophomore that typically win that, but the seniors really came through this year. So congratulations all, congratulations to the graduates. Gordon also mentioned HB House Bill 1300, which would be the tax cap bill. That is also sitting on her desk. She has not, again, she hasn't said one way or the other, but it's on her desk too, which would require us every year to vote in a tax cap. 3%.
How does that work with the town and the school? Does the town have to do it
No.
in a separate, or is it?
Just school,
It's just school.
just school.
Let me wipe my shock look off my face.
Yeah, I have Gordon has provided a memo. I will put that into Friday memo for us, for you guys to read.
I'm guessing that does not include the increases in special education, you know,
Or
10% a year.
insurance and retirement.
If you could give us a write-up, if you have it, for the SAU costs and how they're defining what SAU costs are, because there's a
Yeah, I still think
stipulation
that's a
in
little
there.
gray too.
What's that?
I think that's in Gordon's memo. That's still a little gray.
Oh, what's not gray in this state?
So
That's why
he's got a 2-page memo that basically outlines it all. I'll send that to you.
if it doesn't, if you could look into it, if it's not ready, that's fine. But that's one of the things that I read that I said, well, what's that mean?
To be honest with you, it's kind of sad because in recent history, they pushed things through. And then they've come back the next year and say, oh, we didn't mean it for this, instead of thinking about it first. And, you know, I mean, how many towns are going to get sued? Or are we going to sit there and say, well, you can't go to this school because we don't have enough money now. So sorry, we got to keep everything here because your special education centers don't count.
Yep.
So.
All right, correspondence or other? I'd just like to say I volunteered last Friday for a field day for the 5th grade class. That was a lot of fun. Nice warm day. Yeah, it went well.
Where'd you go?
We were at the middle school.
Middle school.
I forgot
Oh, that's
to,
right.
I forgot to mention, I attended field day at the elementary school. Two of my favorite things was the tug of war and Hungry Hippos in the gym. It's fun to see the kids on the cart. They come up with the carts and they pull in the balls and put them in the thing. So that's two of my favorite activities.
With you and Mr. Roy on separate side.
I just let Doug bark and he lines them up and they go. It's weird that the kids that the most excited is that one too. Yep.
No, usually the teachers do it.
I didn't see any teachers.
You didn't see the teachers?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
these are slacking now. They used
Yeah.
to- teachers
I
used to
might
always
have,
have
they
one
might
there.
have.
Everything went pretty good, but around 1 o'clock, the wheels started to fall off. But, no, it was fun. It's a good day. And, it's a graduation. That was nice. A little warm, but.
4 years inside.
Yep. Manifest funding.
Sorry, I thought Terry was still doing his superintendent report.
Are you? No, your report's done, right?
I'm good, man.
Oh, okay. Accounts payable tonight, $1,228,575.70. Payroll, $591,010.15 for a grand total of $1,819,585.85. And they're all signed. Thank you.
Minutes.
All right.
Like me to read that down or you want to read it?
Now I gotta do my meeting first.
Okay.
Ready? All right. To correct an error in the motion which I made, To exit the first non-public session at the May 6th meeting, we recommend that the school board vote to approve the following motion. So I've got to, in advance, thank Jennifer for coming up with the wording to fix my mess. I'll make a motion to amend the May 6, 2026 public minutes as follows. Page 2, remove the words "and seal item B" from the motion to seal non-public minutes. Note for the record that this amendment is due to the fact that there was no item B in that non-public session, and it was referenced in error as part of the motion.
Second.
So again, I apologize for all this.
Okay. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
And then May 20th, 2026, unless there's any changes, I'll make a motion to approve the May 20th, 2026 minutes as presented.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then you got another public?
I'll make a motion to go into non-public session under RSA 91A, :3, Roman numeral 2A and C.
Second by Joe. Discussion. John?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Joe?
Yes.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Allison.
Good luck with the remainder of your time.